Hi guys, we're gonna do a coffee and cards this morning. So I got a few decks I'm gonna be pulling from. So gonna be pretty casual. Coffee and cards. If you've been on my channel before, I make vape, drink coffee. We're just gonna pull a little bit of like daily advice, so maybe a little inspiration, whatever comes out, guys. Just don't know until we pull. So the sun is really glaring this morning, which is nice because the sun's out. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna try to get that glare down here, you guys. Might have to just face the table here. Oh, that is really bright. So bear with me. I am in between spaces still, you guys. My regular readings have been pretty short, so I don't know how long this one's gonna be, but we are gonna start by getting a crystal. It's called an Astral Realms crystal oracle. We're going to get a crystal for the day. And we got Saturn. This is azurite. I love, love, love this stone, and I love the name azurite. Keep trying to talk my kids into naming their kids azurite. And it stands for discipline, which is Saturn. It's the planet, the teacher planet. I believe the last collective message I did, because Saturn is really prevalent right now, and it's just we're feeling a lot of Saturn energy. That makes sense. This is coming out. I did a collective reading. You might want to check that out too. But on Saturn and the effects of Pisces and that emotional kind of Piscean energy with Saturn, which is quite, teachery, rigid, structured, where Pisces is really kind of a dreamy energy. It's about really not only recognizing the difference between logic and dreaming and illusion and stuff like that, but also being able to understand that sometimes we have to embrace the unknown. Saturn, things with Saturn are changing. They're changing us. Saturn itself isn't changing, but we are having to look at our structures, our teachings. It also stands for the father figure. So it's like that father energy. It's kind of like emperor energy, you guys. So that's the Saturn energy. On the bottom, oops, wrong one. On the bottom, we got transcendence. Moonstone, the crown chakra, transcendence. That's nice. Okay. So I am going to read that, you guys, from the book, just because I really haven't worked with this deck a lot, because I just got it not too long ago and then started, packing up stuff out of my room to move into a different space, and it's just kind of been one of those things I haven't used it a lot. Okay, discipline, azurite, Saturn, clear communication, blockage removal, and spirit guides. In order to function in the pressured, instantaneous society we have created for ourselves, discipline is an essential part of daily life. We have become conditioned to expect immediate results. And also, Saturn is also kind of known as father time, too. It is about being patient. It's about not instant results, waiting, putting in the work, putting in the dedication, putting in the time and the energy to make long-term goals happen, not just short-term. So thinking about that in the message, it's like maybe we need to be a little more mindful about instant gratification compared to long-term. So if we do something reckless or careless, and it will Saturn holds you accountable for those reckless or impulsive decisions that you make because you want instant gratification or because you want something yesterday. Matter of fact, I did a whole, I went down the Saturn hole that morning before I did the collective message, and I pulled some runes too, which is just going to be like a little post in my thing, and it matched up perfectly. We had the Page of Cups. There was that Saturn energy coming through. It was like really like going for your dreams, and sometimes you have to put in extra work, extra dedication. Right now, any work, any thing we put ourselves into, and especially those that are in their personal year of 8, and you get your personal year by adding up today's date, okay, well, not today's date, excuse me, but it's, okay, let me rewind that. Your birthday, so your day and your month. Okay, add that up. Break it down to a single digit. Then add on the year. So this year adds up to 7. So it's 2023. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7. So 7 plus, let's say you were born today, May 1st, which today is today. It's 5, 1. Okay. You add up. You don't worry about your year. Don't worry about your year. Just the month and the day. So you'd go 5 plus 1 is 6. So 7 plus 6 is 13. 13, 3 plus 1 is 4. So it would be a personal year of 4. And I did do I'm going to just, on a side note here, I'm pretty good at going all over the place anyway, guys. But, oh, these are my, hold on, home thing here. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I did that same morning. I went, I'm also down that hole. I do a lot of research. I study a lot of different things, you guys. I study Bible, Torah, Kabbalism, the secret mysteries, the old teachings, Nordic stuff, everything, Native American stuff. Just whatever I feel guided to study and learn more about, I'm always learning, and I love that because that's what makes life great. But if you have a personal year of 8, which is this year for some, it's especially important because if you put in the work, it's ruled by Saturn, so the number 8 is a Saturn number. So it's especially significant for people with the personal year 8. Now that is not your whole number. That is not like your birth number. Like we have a life path number, we have a soul path, we have different numbers, but you can figure out your year, like next year. For instance, like this year is 8 for me. So next year will be a 9, and it only goes to 9, and then it starts the cycle over because everything is cycles, you guys. So this year is a personal number for me specifically of 8. So it is a Saturn. It's action. It means work. It's putting in the work, and it gives you exactly what you focus on. So what you focus on, what you put your energy into, it will give you. Now, whether this is negative or positive, that's why it's really important to be mindful and disciplined and discerning about what you're putting your energy and your time into and what you really want to make happen. Do you want instant gratification or do you want long-term success? That's a Saturn energy. It also requires some sacrifice. So you may have to sacrifice some, maybe even some, I find that you have to sacrifice maybe some more rigid thinking, and that's also Saturn energy. It's rigid thinking. It can be very kind of narrow-minded thinking. It's just, I always get like a mix of the Emperor and like Hierophant energy with Saturn, but because it is the teacher, it is the father, it's kind of those energies in the tarot kind of combined in the planet energy. But you also have to work for what you want this year. This is a year of work with Saturn. And I think overall, collectively, this is an energy that everybody's feeling, but especially those that are in their personal year of 8. So that being said, Saturn is an 8, a planet of 8. That's the number. So I did take a few notes on Saturn before I even did this reading. This was the collective reading that I did, and you may want to check that out if this reading resonates. It is about moral obligations and authority. It's the way you handle your responsibilities. It's about your time, the time you put in, and the matter that's produced from it. That kind of energy, you guys. It can be really challenging energy. It also, let's see here. Yeah, it can shine light on the areas in your life you may need to do a lot of growing up, because it's also, like I said, the parent or the father. So it's also about maturity. It's about us maturing and growing into more, especially with Pisces here in Saturn, it's about being more emotionally mature, more emotionally grown up, not letting our emotions overtake us, but being mindful of where they're taking us and what we're utilizing our emotional energy for. That being said, I'm going to continue reading this. Sorry to get off. It's not off track, you guys, but it was kind of interesting that came out, because I did just do a collective on that, and it had a lot of insight in that reading. So we have become conditioned to expect immediate results, but not that's not how life really operates. In order to achieve your dreams, goals, and desires, you must buckle down and get ready to face the hardships that come along the road to success. You may have to leave behind some things. If you want to be successful as an actress, for instance, and you live in Timbuk freaking middle of two, in the middle of wherever, you may have to move. You may have to relocate. You may be working on a healing process, whatever you're working on, you guys, whether this is job, relationship, self-love. If you're around people that are stagnating you, bringing you down, keeping you contained in their little, what they need from you, you may have to break away from those people. You may have to move. You may have to stand up for yourself. Okay. I kind of get that. Like, it's being able to stand up for yourself. Also, it's boundaries, personal boundaries, setting those goals and sticking to those goals and putting those boundaries up when something comes in to distract you or give you a quick fix, so that you kind of, hey, this is good enough for now. Like, okay, if you're going for a long-term goal and you want to make so much an hour at work, and your boss is like, oh, we'll get there, and they're just trying to keep you happy. Okay. People do this all the time. And this isn't just in work, but it's like, it's kind of not taking breadcrumbs, it's kind of putting those boundaries up and saying, I'm not accepting breadcrumbs because I have a big plan here. I have a big goal and I need things to happen here. And if you aren't going to help me make those things happen, and I'm going to do it on my own, and being very independent also, and knowing, when we're kind of giving in to, just the easier or quicker fix or way, when there is a long-term dedication needed for Saturn, for that Saturn return, for the return to come in off what you're putting in. So just keep in mind that what you put in will come back to you, especially with Saturn. The work you put in, whether this is healing work, self-work, helping others, financial work that you're doing in your life, whatever the work is, you guys, the more dedicated you've been to it and are to it, especially if you're in that 8 year, next year will be that fruition. Next year it will all come. You'll see. And either way, you may like what you see, you may not, and you will know. How did I sacrifice enough? Did I work hard enough? Did I take the shortcuts? Did I, this is all about teaching us to be mature and grow and stay dedicated to a process that isn't in our time. It isn't going to be quick. It's ongoing. So in order to achieve your dreams, goals, and desires, you must buckle down and get ready to face the hardships that come along to the road to success. One planet to see you through this process is Saturn, your biggest supporter but toughest teacher. Yeah, it's like that hard old school teacher. Saturn is. It's like, wants you to learn, but it's not about playing. It's all about work. Saturn is hard work, and especially if there's stuff that you need to work on. And that's where you start, is figuring out what you need to work on and then staying dedicated to the process. Saturn represents the limitations, and this is also putting self-limitations on yourself, like, I can't do that. And also recognizing that there is things you can't do. Like, let's just be honest. We can try to do everything. It's about doing the things, I just was talking about this. It's the things you're already good at, do even better, do greater. Things you're bad at, don't try to be good at. Like, put your energy and effort into the things you're good at, the things that you're, that are naturally your gifts. It is about embracing your natural gifts too, Saturn, and being okay with that, especially with Pisces there in the background with Saturn. It's about embracing that natural, especially any deep-seated stuff you just know, like, hey, I'm good at that. Like, that's natural. Like, that's me. Like, it's really about embracing that part of ourselves, guys, and taking none less for ourselves than what we know, not only we deserve, but we work for. This isn't a planet that's like, oh, well, I'm entitled to that. No, you work for this. You worked for this. You've went through lots of stuff to get to this point. So keep that in mind as you're dealing with Saturn, okay? It's just crazy. Saturn's coming up again as I'm doing another collective message. It just doesn't surprise me, but it will help you through the process. Saturn will, and it can also be like, you ain't doing that right. I'm going to show you this, because this is what happens when you put your energy over here, or you scatter your energy and you don't stay focused on a goal or focused on something you really want. As a ruler of time, and this is what I was talking about with the time, Saturn will put you through trials and tribulations in order for you to learn pertinent lessons and come out on top with newly gained wisdom and maturity. Working with Saturn's energy is slow, but the results are long-lasting, and you'll be able to manifest things physically when you work with its energy. Although Saturn's lessons are hard and sometimes even brutal, they are necessary lessons. Face it head on and do not fear it. The use of crystals around you, such as azurite, a sacred stone for communications with your spirit guides, to aid you in your work with Saturn's energy. When associated with the third eye chakra, azurite assists in awakening your psychic abilities. When used with the throat chakra, it helps you recognize your intuition and removes energy or communication blockages and roadblocks in your progress. Azurite is a great tool to use during meditation to clear your mind and allow you to go deep within yourself, clearly receive intuitive messages. It also assists in reliving your phobias and any negativity looming in your thoughts and helps ease the blow of Saturn's tough lessons. It says, I am working slowly with discipline to learn the lessons Saturn is teaching me. Self-discipline. Saying, I really want that right now, but you really want to buy land, or you really want to really invest in something bigger, and you can't have those instant things that keep you kind of happy in the moment. You got to just know that you're doing, keep that foresight, keep that focus on your vision, the bigger picture. I really feel Saturn is a bigger picture planet and energy. So that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and get a this is called an inner tree oracle. I'm just see what comes out here. Some good advice on Saturn. Let's see what else. And if you didn't catch the Saturn video, this will give you a little rundown of that. And the seed, that makes so much sense. The seed. In the seed is the secret of life. Your intention, what you're putting your energy into, the seeds that you're planting grow tomorrow. But you have to and then I go back to, I don't remember where I read it, but it was it's kind of like, you ain't going to go out to the garden. I think it was kind of about Empress energy or something like that. And right when something grows, you ain't going to plant a seed and the next day go out to your garden and say, oh, well, it isn't grown yet, so I'm going to rip it out of the ground. No, you're going to give it time. You're going to give it time to grow. You're going to give it time to get the nutrients it needs. This is what this time is about, you guys. It's about feeding the seeds that you want to grow. It's about giving them time to come to fruition. It's about being patient. It's about understanding that the discipline you put into taking that 10, 15, 20 minutes a day to take care of exactly what it is you want and exactly what it is you're trying to nurture in your life will pay off. But it's not, you're not going to see instant results. And we need to be disciplined, and we need to have really kind of a structured, just a real structured way of doing things with Saturn and the seed here. So I really love that for this reading. And then we got Mother Nature on the bottom, because that's the way things grow. Thank you, Mother Nature. And I also look at Mother Nature as all nature. So that is our planets. That's the way they are here to help us. It's kind of like I don't like winter, okay? I'm not a winter person. But I know it's here for a reason. I know winter's here to cool us off after hot summer, to give everything a break. It's from the blazing sun, and also the water, the everything, the mold, everything that grows, like after the snow and everything gets away. It all serves a purpose, you guys. It's all connected. So that's really nice, you guys. So let's go ahead and get, this is, okay, so I just threw this one in here today. I'm not sure how it's going to play with these cards, but it's called the Saltwater Spirit Oracle, and I was just filling it. So we're going to go ahead and just see what comes out here for some advice or guidance or a little inspiration on this. And we got the octopus. Been feeling that water energy again, pretty strong. Sometimes a dance is required to maneuver through life's unforeseen circumstances. It actually is playing well with this reading, because it did say Saturn will throw us obstacles and challenges. And it will. You'll feel like, oh man, this ain't working out or whatever. And it's just teaching you what you might have, could have, should have, maybe did a little different, and what you can change now and make it work for you. But it takes you. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's not just going to come to you. You have to do the work. So sometimes a dance is required to maneuver through life's unforeseen circumstances. including those where it's like, I've been working on this. I'm still not seeing anything grow, Sometimes you got to add a little, maybe you have to move. Maybe you have to move something. Maybe you have to put it in a different place. I'm talking, and I'm metaphorically speaking, like the gardener theme again, or the plant thing. It's like, okay, this isn't growing here. This isn't working here. Is it the environment? Is it getting enough sunlight? Is it getting enough shade? Am I watering it enough? Have I given it enough time is one of the biggest questions. Because am I trying to plant a tree here, or am I just planting a fast growing thing? Yeah, if you want tons of instant results, you can get instant results from a lot of things, but not that big oak, not that big. It's going to take years. It's going to take time. It's going to take work, energy. If you're writing a book, it's taken your whole life to do this, so it's definitely not something that's going to happen overnight a lot of the times with Saturn. Okay. So let's go ahead and read that. And we are going to read it. The Octopus, which is number 50. Really interesting. And this one will be a little longer, but yay, if you have time, sit down, Actually, speaking of which, I'm going to grab a drink of coffee. These readings, these coffee and card readings, are usually not for the quick people that just want to get a quick reading and get out. It's just kind of, and I would love, I don't ever get, I've never gotten, tons of comments or anything, but you can always say how you're getting affected by Saturn. I know, and what you're trying to plant in your life right now, and say it out loud and let the world know, hey, I'm working on this. Really stand behind your inspiration, your project, your goal. Show it some love, show it some dedication, and show it some, give it some protection, too. And if that's something where it's like, oh, I'm not saying what I'm working on because that's my way of protecting it, that's fine too. That's also another option too. I know I've been personally working on so much, and sometimes I feel like I'm scattering my energy, but I got tons of poems I want to put a book together. I've already started it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not perfect. I gotta get, and it's the Virgo in my chart. I have a lot of Virgo and stuff. It's all about perfection, but the problem with that is then it never comes to, but it will. I just gotta stay dedicated, and I keep trying to talk myself into staying dedicated, even to this, even to doing my readings and just doing my work. Sometimes it's just easier to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna not do that. Maybe I'll just, I don't know, zombie out on the TV all day, which isn't me, you guys. I used to, and I wasted so much time watching mindless brain rot on TV. I can't even, and I sit here all day without a TV, and I think, and I meditate, and I write, and I research, and I do my work, and it actually makes me feel like, hey, at least I'm not wasting my time. I am learning stuff. Now, whether it ever comes in handy anywhere or not, I don't know. Point is, I feel more productive. And, I got my laundry going, it's about making really good choices for your long-term benefit. Things you can learn about. It's just even in this reading, it's I went down the rabbit hole with Saturn. So pulling this card today, it actually benefits this reading. It benefits me. It benefits my knowledge of more of Saturn, which I already know a little, but I went really in the depths. And that's important too. I feel like with the octopus, it's going in the depths. Even though that's not what this card is saying, that's intuitively what I'm getting with this reading. It's going in the deep, like the sea, going underneath and seeing what needs to happen, what you need to nourish underneath the surface to make things happen. Doing that research, doing that extra, putting in that extra time, that extra energy into a class or meditation or whatever it is you guys are going for. It might require an extra bit of something. So just add that to your day, add that to your month. This is collective. There's not really a time on it. If you find this, you're meant to see this. Saturn's going to be heavy in play. It always is, but it's very, we're getting in these switches and we're really transitioning. A lot of stuff's transitioning right now energetically. So just be mindful of that. And it's about adaptability, agility, and resilience. The octopus is an incredibly adaptable creature. Be adaptable, be flexible, and understand that sometimes you have to be very aware of where your seed's growing, where are you in your environment? What are you trying to do? Are you in the wrong? Okay, so whatever you're trying to do, there is an environment for. whatever you're trying to manifest in your life, there is a place for that. Like I said, becoming an actress here ain't gonna happen. Probably becoming a comedian here ain't gonna happen if you're in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to relocate. You're gonna have to find those people. It's kind of also like knowing your audience, knowing who you are, and that's in the metaphor of being an actress or what do you need to help you gain the tools and the experience that you want and need to reach your goals. That's if I need to go to a certain college to learn a certain thing, then that's what I'm going to have to do. Maybe I can't get it at the community college, or maybe I can't. There's just a lot. Like, it's just reaching out to different, being very mindful of where you're doing your work too. And that's another reason why the space is really important to me. It's like, I need that space to just really work in, and just the quietness. You need to understand what is kind of distracting you, pulling you away and giving you instant gratification for something that you're trying to do long term, you guys. I have a lot on this. It's vulnerable to predators. So the octopus is vulnerable to predators due to its physical form. But although it appears defenseless, it is far from it. Its ability to seamlessly maneuver, shapeshift, and camouflage to blend in with its surrounding environment makes it incredibly hard to observe for very long. The spirit of the octopus helps you to be flexible in unpleasant situations. It advises you to use your ability to maneuver through tricky situations with grace and ease. Sometimes it is best to change up your regular routine in order to get a different outcome. To be flexible and malleable are skills to be learned and practiced. Not many are naturally characterized this way, and naturally we resist having to change our stance. This octopus spirit is guiding you to embrace the skill of flexibility to attract positive people, emotions, and situations into your life. The evocation is, I maneuver through my life with grace and ease. I call in the energies of adaptiveness and resiliency to get through any energetic interferences while on the path of achieving my life goals. So this is more addressing those things I was talking about earlier that come in. I want to give you that quick gratification, that quick fix, and that isn't really actually what you want to like truly invest in. What you want to invest in is something more long term. It's that quick fix, it's that quick relationship, it's that quick buy, it's that quick it can feed into any crutches or quick energetic fixes that just maybe get in the way of you and your long-term goals. Let's go ahead and pull a little bit of tarot on this, okay? Ooh. So we're gonna do this one. The Seven of Wands, persistence and conviction. That makes perfectly good sense. The Hermit, contemplation and soul searching. And let's get one more here. Oh yeah. Nice. Okay. On the bottom, Seven of Cups, speculation, opportunity. Having lots of options, lots of choices, but needing to really just focus on one and not be lost in the dream world. Realize in reality of things, especially with Saturn in play here, you got to put in the work. It ain't going to come just fall on your table, guys. You got to put in the work. You got to be dedicated to your goals. Seven of Wands. There is, that's 7 and then 7. And this is honestly standing your ground on your dreams and goals. Even if other people are like, hey, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so on you go. Or you don't have the tools or knowledge or anything to do that. What are you thinking? Don't worry about what I'm thinking. I got a plan. That's, it's my deal. It's not yours. You have to learn to know, even if there's people that don't believe in you. And this is why paying attention to your environment is so important, you guys, because you're going to feel the support or the fight. You're going to feel when people know you're trying hard to achieve something and they just kind of like, hey, you want to go do this instead? You've been doing that for like 3 days. Do you want to and sometimes they're doing that to help you, because sometimes you can get really embedded in what you're doing and you do need a break and you do need to take time to relax and have fun. That's not what Saturn's about, though. It's not really about relaxing and having fun, you guys. It's about doing the work. And it's about not getting distracted by your environment, by the people in your environment, or having anything like make you question what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table and what your gifts are and what your goals are. It's saying, you know what? I know I got this gift and I'm bringing it to the table, and I don't care how many people don't believe me, don't want to come to my party. I'm still throwing the damn party. That's kind of what, this is standing my ground, and I know why. You know what? Because it's coming from a place that I know is true to me, and it's true to my place in this environment, in this world. So the Hermit is the contemplation and the soul searching, and it's under that seed, so it's like really interesting because we got that Seven of Wands, which is that discipline. And this is also knowing when to stand your ground and when not to argue with people. Knowing that you don't need to fight everybody. You can just stand there and just let people say, do, whatever. And it's not just people. It can just be other things pulling you away too. Where it's like, no, I'm going to stay here today. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to work on this today. There's a lot going on around you. With that Seven of Cups on the bottom, that's a lot. There's a lot of different things to do and stay busy, but what are you focused on? That's what the Saturn energy is really trying to get through to us, you guys, to focus on what we are trying to do here on Earth. What is our mission? What is our purpose? Fulfilling that. Contemplation, soul searching, this is finding that. This is that seed. In the seed is the secret of life. And this is the secret to your own happiness, your own health, your own well-being, your own growth, your own maturity, your own purity. This is really finding your peace inside, and then when the Hermit comes out, outside. But you have to go in and figure out, what is it? What is it you want to do? What is it you want to plant? What is it you want to nurture? That's that Hermit energy, you guys. Really thinking about that. And then we got Fortitude, Vitality, and Courage. This is a strength card. So, and this is under the Octopus, which is that sometimes a dance is required to maneuver through life's unforeseen circumstances. Sometimes you don't have to just, like, that's another thing I get with strength, is you don't have to just come out teeth out growling. You can just be like, you know what, I'm just going to dance around this. This ain't worth my time or energy. You're not going to distract me from what I'm doing. That's true strength, you guys, is knowing it's kind of like that octopus disappearing into the depths. Like, you saw it, you got a glimpse, you tried to, catch a glimpse of it, gone. By that, I mean other people, maybe trying to distract you or pull you off course. Or this could even be your own fears, your own weaknesses, your own life force being exhausted, overdoing it, staying really busy and not focusing your energy on the thing you want most to happen here in the next couple of years, you guys. This is about our long-term goals. Vitality and courage, staying rested, taking care of yourself, loving yourself from a really beneficial place that helps you. And that does take a lot. And also that courage, that strength, that having the courage to look at things that could be scary or can be threatening to you, or maybe it will take a while to tame some things and grow up. Maybe there is some growing up that needs done. Maybe there is some maturing that needs done for something to happen. It takes some courage. It takes some life force, some fire. So, and that's what I feel a lot with the strength card. But let's go ahead and then that Seven of Cups, speculation and opportunity. Be careful of, what opportunities you take on at this time with Saturn. Make sure you're disciplined in your decision making. This is very important energy because karmically, I really feel Saturn is one of the hardcore. It'll come back and bite you. Saturn don't mess around. It don't mess around. It don't mess around. You learn, or you retake the class, or you get a detention, or whatever it is, Like, Saturn's really tough. It can be tough energy, but it can also be really beneficial. You can leave, like, feeling like the honor roll student. Like, I learned, like, so much during, like, all these huge shifts with Saturn through my life. Like, man, I felt that when I remember that year, I didn't listen, and bam, like, there's, you need to listen. You need to take the notes. You need to take the lessons. It takes time. It takes dedication, justice, understanding the karmic balance. As I was talking about this karma being a whopper, dude, and putting in that work, that yin yang, balancing that feminine, that masculine, the do and the sit back and watch and learn, and then the teaching part and the doing part. It's really about understanding that balance. Like, wow, I remember that year. Saturn was whatever in this, and maybe you aren't into astrology and stuff, and that's fine, you guys. But there is definitely a learning to Saturn. And if you don't learn, you will feel it. And you'll feel it if you do. You'll be like, wow, where'd that come from? Well, 10 years ago or whatever, 11 years ago. I was going to say that real quick. So I do want to point this out about Saturn, since that's really the energy we're dealing with collectively, and obviously because it's just coming in. It's really profound right now. Defines generations, shifting between signs every 2 to 3 years. So every 2 to 3 years, it's shifting between signs. But it actually only comes back to the sign you were born in. So if your Saturn is in whatever sign it is, it's only going to come back once, maybe twice, because it actually takes 29.5, that's an estimate, year cycle to come back to you, like kind of full circle. So, obviously if you live past 50, 60, you're going to see 2 Saturn returns. And those are your full Saturn returns. And that's when you're going to really feel this stuff, you guys. A lot of, I was been doing a lot of thinking about this, and a lot of people, you see like a lot of like 27 to 29, 30-year-olds that are really struggling, okay, when their Saturn returns come in. And it actually can cause a lot of problems mentally and stuff if you just kind of don't realize what you're dealing with, and you're being taught lessons, or you're feeling very like undisciplined. And that's another thing. It keeps us away from drugs, alcohol. It teaches us a clean body, a clean mind, helps us move forward. It's also a planet of like sobriety. You want to be like clear-minded and stuff. Dealing with Saturn energy is no joke. And I think of a lot of singers and stuff that have committed suicide, or even later in their second Saturn return. It's just there's so much around Saturn energy. It's just wow. You can reject it, but it's going to challenge you, or you can accept and learn from it, and it will help you grow, and it'll help you move forward. So understanding this energy is really important if you are into astrology and energy and anything like that, you guys. So justice flipped out when I was talking about that karmic balance, and this is about giving yourself the justice that you deserve after learning those lessons, after going through those hard times when it's like, man, I didn't understand that stuff back then. I didn't understand Saturn, but now I do. So hi, Saturn. I guess what I've been doing my work. So give me my gold sticker. So that is the reading, you guys. Thank you for coming to this reading. It is a collective reading. It's not really time thing. It's just Saturn's really been heavy in the air, and once again, we're addressing it with the energy here. So I just wanted to do this real quick this morning. It wasn't a quick video, but I hope you guys found the time to watch it, and I hope it helps somebody. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.